We're going to start the session right now. I'm just giving it a minute or so for people to come in. All right, and then when we hit a certain number, okay, which should be good, and then we're going to start right now. Okay, great. So welcome. Okay, today Granny is going to actually be doing his presentation, and I just wanted to welcome Granny, and I'm going to actually give her access to the screen right now. Okay. Hi, Granny.
Okay, let me know when you can see my screen. Can everybody hear me?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. I want to welcome all of our friends and family who've been with us all these weeks now. For those who just took Steve's course, oh dear. Did you hear that telephone ring? Those who just took Steve's course, and for those who have been established members and they're just now joining us to see what DMR is like, hopefully you'll see that there's some value in it and be able to lessen your learning curve with us. I have to tell you today that in all Granny's years, this is the first time I ever felt an earthquake, and it was all the way into Ohio. I was sitting here at the desk, and the water in my glass was moving, and I thought the dog was down at my feet by the leg of the table, and I looked down and there was no dog. And I thought, what was that? And then of course my California people made fun of me and said, you know, that was nothing, but I was impressed. I thought it was. Anyway, that was my first one. So, well, what we're going to try to show you is we're going to try to point out the safest trades that are both in London and in New York. Car trades the London session, and Kim and I mainly trade New York. There's 6 pairs that we trade: the Euro Dollar, Euro Swiss, Euro Yen, Pound Dollar, Pound Swiss, and Pound Yen. We look at 4 others, but seldom do we trade them. Those are the Dollar Yen, the Dollar Swiss, the CAD, and the Aussie. Now I'm going to try to go very slow tonight, and I'm going to try to move my mouse slowly so that you don't get dizzy. My charts are pretty clear. When you see Kim's, I have a little more stuff on it than she does. But I'm one of the quote-unquote naked ladies. There's 7 of us. And as we studied, we kept removing indicators one by one. So now our charts really don't have much on them. We tried to trade the candle patterns only. Every night we give you a bias of what we think might move. The move might be the following day. But please, please, please don't get these biases in your head and become determined that that's the direction you want to take the trade the next day. Many people have asked Steve, well, what's it going to do tomorrow? And his answer is, I don't know. I don't have a clue. Let me see how they handle the initial high and low of the day out of the blue box, and I'll tell you what the direction is. So if the master has to determine the direction between 1 and 4 a.m., say, you can't expect these 3 little amigos to have a crystal ball. And I absolutely hate to give the call as a bias. Many times you'll hear me hedge because I just don't, it just isn't clear. Steve has taught us that we have a confirmed W, and then we should have 2 V's and then a M. Or we have a confirmed M, we ought to have 2 A's, 2 days of drop after that, bound to make another W. Meaning, if we have a confirmed W, then we have 2 days up or confirmed in. We have 2 days coming back down. But as we all know, there are days go by that the pair is just absolutely flat. So sometimes you're going to see VWWWM. We're finding lately that the moves are very, very small. We used to be able to count 3 pushes, and that doesn't happen very often. So I think the inmates are running the asylum, and the market makers have taken a few weeks off. So this next week will also be non-farm payroll, so you need to be really, really careful. Hopefully after about the second week of September, things will calm down and we'll kind of get back to normal trading. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the DMR and find it helpful, and I hope you'll think about joining us. So let's start looking at the charts. The first one is the euro dollar. And we had straightaways on everything this morning, and you'll notice that the moving averages have all come really close together on almost all of the pairs. It came out of the box, didn't do a stop hunt anywhere, it just took off. Now when it closed above the water and the mayonnaise, you could have gotten in. The close was here, but you want to always be careful of what your stop loss is going to be. So if you measure, you have a stop loss of 24.25. That's acceptable. We'd like it to be 23, like Steve says. And so if you wait a couple of candles, you'll find that it might quite often will come back and touch the 13 or maybe even the water and the mayonnaise again. And this is a better entry than entering it here where that candle closed. So if you entered it about here, your stop loss is only like 16 or 18. And then there was an easy 102 pips, but it was an easy 50 pips in a couple of candles on that one. It got up to the top and it made kind of an ugly looking M, but here's the second leg of the M. You could have gotten in right there. If you'd missed that, it went down, it came back up and through 2 pins here. You could have waited for it to come somewhat back into this big candle in order for your stop loss to be a little bit smaller. It's 22 pips to here. All the way over here is 30, so I would have put it above this peak high, or this high right here at about 23 pips. And that was an easy 50 pips there. Then it came down on the 30-minute chart on the 200 EMA, threw a pin to that. They held it for an hour, and then they took off. If you wanted to trade back into late in London, I try to stop right around the time this line is here, or a few candles later than that. I would not have taken this one back. First of all, there did seem to be an entry. This candle closed above the mayonnaise, and then the candle came back down, gave you a better entry, but to the water was only 35 pips, and that wasn't good enough for me. Okay, we were in level 2 when Carr did this last night, and he was expecting, now these initials stand for stop, hunt, low, rise. We didn't get a stop hunt out of the box. We had a straightaway, and like Steve says, those are the hardest ones to get, but we were expecting a rise. As it turned out, it is a straightaway, and those are hard to understand, and they're hard to get into at the beginning until after it's partially done. Then you think, oh yeah, that was a straightaway. But if you had been able to understand that's what it was, you could have gotten in here. I didn't get up until way up in this area here. Carr, did you get this as a out of London?
No. I'm not. I always look for a stop hunt before I go in
Uh-huh.
long. If I don't see a
Okay.
stop hunt, clear stop hunt, I just pass it, man.
You
Your job is
well,
not to
you
take
would have,
every trade, right? Your job is to look
right. You
for the
would have,
best trade and
yeah,
take them.
right. You would have passed probably all of them because they all did the same thing.
Exactly. Just
Uh-huh.
a reversal of the high.
Right. And so we were expecting stop hunt low rise up into level 3. Now we did have a nice rise today. So now we're expecting an M. Now, as we all know, level 3s can be 1 or 2 days, or they can be 7 days. Ideally, tomorrow out of the box, we would like to see a stop hunt high, which possibly could make a double top with this M here, throw us an appropriate pattern, and take it short. Now we are in level 3. Should they stop hunt high, should they come out and stop hunt low, we could take that one back up to the top of level 3. So in level 3 you can go both directions. Ideally though, we're looking for it to come up here and make the appropriate confirmed M and drop. Okay?
Hey Granny,
Mm-hmm.
can you show or talk to, someone asked, why do we go from a long to a short at the M? Would we have not been looking for push 2 and push 3 long on the euro?
Are they push 2 and push 3 long? Say that again.
Sure. Why do we go from a long to a short at the M? Would we have not been looking for push 2 and 3 long? I think what they're asking is they don't see the pushes, Granny, so help them see the pushes.
Well, they don't see the pushes because they're not doing very many of them lately. Used to be we could count them really, really easily. Here you can see that we had one push-up, and here could have been 2, and here could have been 3, but generally, when things are working well, we'll have a rise, and then we will have a stop hunt of about 25 to 30 pips back to some moving average. Then we'll have another push-up, and we'll have a stop hunt, and then another push-up. So if you started way down here, you probably could count this as 1, as 2, and as 3. But like I say, they've been very difficult. Kim and I usually trade the New York session off of pushes, and that has been very difficult also. Did that answer their question?
Yeah, I think that you can, if you want to, I can't point, but if I were counting this, guys, I would definitely count the first move inside the Asian box, which corresponds with where Granny's pointer is right now, as push 1. It comes back to the water in the Mayo, so they run it up, they hit the stop slow, then they resume the move up, and then we get 4 big beautiful green candles straight up, vertical rise. They hit the stop slow, touching the 13, so run all the way up, Granny, with your pointer. To here, that's completion of push 2, and then push 3 is at the very top there. Okay, so that's how you count the pushes on that. Go ahead. That was it. And people are wanting to know about all your dotted lines too, so when you have a chance, if you can maybe go over that after you're done or something.
Okay, all right. Well, these dotted lines are something that is called moving, whoops, they're down here, moving average on TF. And all they do is you put them on, there's an indicator, and you put them on, and you put the 30-minute, the 60-minute, and the 4-hour on. And you want the 50 and the 200 of each one of those on your chart. And you must change this method to 1 to make it an EMA. If you leave it at 0, it's an SMA. I make them all the same color, and I try to make them as unobtrusive as possible. But with them on here, I know when I see this line here and they're stopping there, I can right-click on that line. It'll tell me that it's touching the 200 EMA on the 30-minute chart. So if I were to go to the 30-minute chart, I can see that it's touching the 200 right here. I always trade off of the 15-minute chart, but these lines just tell me that it's hitting something I might want to be careful about. And if you want the indicator, my email is grannynelson@yahoo.com. Kim can probably write it in there. And you put it on 6 different times and change the inputs like I showed you. And that's what those lines are. Okay? Let's go on to the Euro-Yen. Again, it came out of the box as a straightaway. They're very difficult to understand what they are until you get to the top, and then you say, oh yeah, I know. Again, we're in level 2, and a car was expecting a stop hunt low rise. Well, we didn't get the stop hunt low, but we did get the rise. So now we're in level 3. They pull this huge spikes here. They trap all the longs up there. They immediately pull them back, and you can enter right on this candle, or you can measure the distance between this candle and this candle. I do that with a fib tool. I'll show you how I do that. I took all the percentages off except the 50%. And then when you put the tool on from here to here, it'll draw a line and tell you where 50% is, and it will also give you the price at that point. So if you're wanting to go short, you missed it here, and you've come into here and you're thinking, oh man, that's a pretty big stop loss. If I go in right here, my stop loss has to be 23. Well, that one would be acceptable, but if it wasn't, you can always wait for another candle to come in that area. And in this case, I entered this, I took this trade last night. I entered it right here because I had the second pin to the tracer blue line, which was yesterday's high. I entered it right there, and it was an easy 50 pips. Came down, was really close to my, dotted line here, which is the 200 EMA on the 60-minute chart. So if I went to the hour, you'd see it'd be hitting it right here. They pulled it in, pulled it right back above. You could have entered here for the reversal back to the water. I think would have been an easy 50 pips. 38. You had to go over into here to get your 50. Okay. So since we think maybe we've entered level 3 now, I would expect coming out of Asia, 3 swipes to the low, stop hunt low, rise to make an M, throw the appropriate railroad tracks, Empire State Building, Evening Star, whatever, and then take it short. Of course, now they could always blow right through this and go up and make a bigger level 3 box. So you just have to wait and see what would happen. But I'm expecting that they're going to rise it up to level 3 and then drop it. The Euro-Swiss, the Swissies have been really crazy lately. They've been in a range for well over a week. They did the same thing, came out, did a stop hunt, and it did not do a stop hunt, but it did a straightaway. Could have gotten in when it closed above the water in the mayonnaise. You notice that also the water of the mayonnaise crossed there. Did the same thing, went up, trapped the longs up, came back closed within the range. It closed with below these two lines here. Could have entered it right there. If you didn't get that or it wasn't up yet, you could have waited until it closed below the 13 through another pin up into that candle. You could have entered somewhere in this area and you could have had your stop loss as tight as 13, 15 pips here. Went down, it was an easy 50 pips to here. Now see, in a month or so ago, we would have seen this 50 pip trade. We would have then been expecting a 30 or 25 to 50 pip stop hunt. It would have then gone down the second 50. Then we'd expected a stop hunt for the push 2, and it would have gone down to push 3. But that is just not happening anymore. So, and in this case, with the water above the mayonnaise, you know that the market maker trend is long, so you really want to be trading this long. This trade is actually a reversal type trade. The market maker trend is long here, so you've got 4 pins. You could have gotten in on any of those pins or even up here, and then it was an easy 50 pips after that up here too. So we are in level 3. Now we've gone up even higher, so are we going to make a another M over here, stop hunt low, rise, make an M, and then drop? But we have been in level 3, so the Swissies for, I don't know, 4 or 5 days now, we've been saying hit the stop high, drop, and they just keep rising. So maybe they'll just maybe this is a reset here along the mayonnaise, and maybe we're going to go up 2 more levels. I don't know. They're very difficult to read now. So I'm staying away from all the Swissies until that shakes out. The pound dollar, I got this one also. It did the same thing, came out straight away up to the top, formed an M. I got in. I saw this big red candle that was way too big for me. Stop was, so I measured it with my fib tool. Here is the 50% line of that candle. Since it was so big, when this candle closed lower than where this one closed, it told me that all these guys are trapped up here above that line. So when it came up the next time just to that line, I jumped in right there on that candle there, and it was an easy 50 pips down to the bottom. Now again, what's the trend on this one? You don't know. The water and the mayonnaise crossed here. Half a day later it crossed here. Next day it crossed back up. Now it looks like it's going to cross back down again. So there is no trend. This is just plain old flat. It's in level 3. We have had a previous shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. So I'm again expecting for tomorrow stop hunt low, rise up to form an M of some sort, then throw the appropriate pattern and drop. Okay? The pound yen has been especially weird lately. It usually travels.
Hey, Granny?
in... Yes, ma'am.
There's one question on the pound, if you can go back to your chart. Justin says that he took the pound dollar short on the star out of the blue box. The star out of the blue box. What do you see wrong with that trade?
Took it short. Is he talking about one of Carr's diamond things? What's a star?
Oh, I don't know. The red doji. The red doji.
Right here?
Right where she's pointing, Justin?
No, just go a little bit higher, right where the previous day's high is.
Right there.
Right here? He
Yes,
took it.
right there.
He took it short. Well, that's a weird candle because they went up, induced longs, turned around, took them all the way back. They went down and induced shorts, took those all the way back and stopped in the middle. I wouldn't have touched that. If anything, by now I've seen four candles, four big, or not big, but four larger green candles. I'm
Granny,
seeing
looks like that was in the shadow box too. It pins yesterday's high, right?
Pins it there, induce people to go long right here.
That's right. That's right. Pulls back, closes
Pulls
inside
it back
the
and sticks those guys up there. Pulls it back. This down here induces them saying, no, I'm not going really long, I'm going short. So then they talk you into going short down here, and they come back here and say, sorry about your loss. Neither one of you were right. I don't know. That's just not a candle. I don't know what else to say about it. The wicks are so long on both ends that I wouldn't have touched it. Carr, you have anything to say about that candle?
Yeah, the only reason that candle does not look right, and I'll tell you why. First of all, if you look to your left, normally you would have like a couple of days open, right? Normally, remember Steve says 3 to 5 days, okay? And your best trade is short, especially in level 3, short of the high of the day or high of where that level begins, level 3 begins. I would like to go short of the high, okay? Not that high. If you scroll a little bit to the right, Granny, just move the chart to the right some more. Or maybe you'll have to shrink it one more time. Okay, what you actually see is, look at where the high is, right? The high is to the left 2-3 days ago, right? Over there. And if you notice, if the box is not drawn, normally if the box is drawn, you will be able to see that you're more closer to the bottom of the box than on the top of the high of the box. So the only way to trade a reversal to the bottom is the M pattern. Okay, yes, I see what you're trying to trade off the M from previous day. I personally don't like that move. First of all, the way that it looks. Second of all, I like a rejection of price clearly on the next candle to the direction I want to trade. Okay, so in other words, the only way I would take that trade.
This candle would have had to have been red.
Yeah, no, close. It has to close red down there, almost like an Empire State or shooting star pattern. Mm-hmm. Then I would take that trade. I would not just anticipate the move and take that trade. That's where most people make mistakes, is anticipating the trade. I'll talk a little bit about this because I was actually looking at a a video that Adam Ford sent me, and he talks about anticipation and predictions and what's the difference between the two. All right, but yeah, I didn't even, yeah, I saw that candle, but I wasn't interested personally to take that trade.
And if this is a high, there should have been 2 or 3 candles here, shouldn't there? It would have held it for 30 to 90 minutes.
Go ahead, Kim.
I wouldn't have taken that simply because you already had, that was push 2 right there. You already had push 1. That was push 2. They hit the stops low, and they were going to take it up again. And like Carr said, this high over here, that was more relevant. But I was just looking at the pushes. That would not have, you should not have traded that short at that point in time. They had not completed, even though we say, you know, lately they haven't been, but there was too much straight up on there. So. And they didn't hold the level either, so.
Yeah, right. There's only one candle, so there's. Okay, can we move on?
Yep.
Pound yen. Like I started to say on the pound yen, it usually moves 200 pips a day, And for the last week or so, it's been moving, far, far less than that. We've been in level 2 for a long time. We've been staying, it's time to move out of level 2 into level 3. And again, today they haven't done it. It came out, it closed above the water. I wouldn't even have taken this since this has been so flat. I don't even think there's 50 pips in this one, is there? 47, 42 pips in that one. This one was just junk. It was, what does Carr write on his charts? Chop, pass. The dollar yen, I've been passing for 10 days now. Look at this. I'm not touching that until we're at level 3 and we're expecting it to rise. Now here was the bottom of level 3. It blew through that, encouraged people to go short, brought it right back up above, back into the box for level 3. And again, it's just chopping. So this is one just to stay away from. The pound yen, the pound Swiss is doing the same as the other Swissies. For days we've been saying it's going to hit the stop high and drop. And again, today it went even higher than it was yesterday, although it's not hit the top of level 3 box. But it came out of the box, closed above the water. I don't even think there was 50 pips in this one. Well, yes, there was 55 in that. Then it came down, and then it's made, since late afternoon, it's made a better run than it did this morning. So on this one again, I'm going to say it's in level 3. Hopefully it's going to not break out of level 3. I suppose it's been messing here with the 200 so long that that could be a reset, and maybe we have a couple more days rise. I don't know.
Franny, can you talk about that little red box inside that blue box? People have been kind of
this little red box?
Yeah.
I'm not even sure what it is myself. It's the indicator that I thought we were waiting for Ray to give to us. I labeled it Carr because just so I'd know what it was.
That's funny.
Yeah,
I think that's where
You have a box named after you, Carr.
you have a box
that's
named
hilarious.
after you. But
Doesn't it draw the last 1/4 of the box? Is that what it's
that's what it looks like.
Well, it will. Yeah, it will. It'll draw the regular blue box, and this is different from what I've had before. I turn off by making this false. The red boxes for New York, I don't even want to see them, so I made that false. But then it says, do you want to draw the Asian range box? And I said true, and I make it 4 to 7 o'clock. That's what comes. I made it a dim gray. Now how it turns out red on top of blue, I don't know. But what it's supposed to do is draw the last quarter of the box. So if you have a box that's blown out, this one is 87 pips, and then it draws the last quarter of the box, and this little box is 49.9. But if it's not blown out, it still draws the same box. So I don't have it set quite exactly the way it's supposed to be, and I'm hoping Ray will...
well, actually, Ray mentioned
Ray
something.
is in here.
Okay.
Oh, he's in there. Well,
yeah, he said that it's a redrawn range if the last third of the box is less than 50% of the entire box range. Okay,
well, say that again.
It's the redrawn range
of the box.
if the last third of the box is less than 50% of the entire box range.
Okay, all right. Well, I think this is really going to be helpful, and I've been waiting and waiting. Is Ray going to explain that at some point, Ray? Hopefully. Because we've had so many really blown out boxes lately that we've not been able to...
Yeah, Ray said he's going to do that next time.
Okay, okay. Well, I have no idea whether I have it set correctly or not. I've just been playing with it. So, And the stop hunt boxes are nice because they draw it in. Although, Ray, is there any way to make this not filled in, just to have a square around it so that it doesn't yuck up my chart so much? I don't know if that's possible or not, but Ray can do anything. We know that. Okay, let's move on to the Aussie dollar. We've had a previous head and shoulders. We're in level 3. We came out of the box again. It was a straightaway. Formed a kind of an ugly looking M up here with another challenge to the top. It closed below the 13. You could have gotten in right here and it wouldn't have been too bad of a stop loss of 19, 20 pips up to here. And it did not quite make 50. It only made 47 pips on that. But again, here's my little blue line here. This is the 50 EMA on the 30-minute chart, and you can see it hit that and stalled, induced people to go short, and pulled it right back in, and then they went with the market maker trend. Market maker trend is up because of the crosshair of the water and the mayonnaise. So we're in level 3. Again, we're expecting hit the stops low, rise up in order to make another M and give you the appropriate patterns and then drop. So we've been saying everything is in level 3 getting ready to fall, except for the CAD, and it's doing the opposite. But first thing you see on the CAD, the water and the mayonnaise go down, they go up, they go down, they go up. They almost went down and now they're going back up. This is spaghetti junction. You can't begin to tell where the market maker trend is on this. It's just best to pass when things are like that. But they did come out straight away out of the box, and they made a relatively nice W here with 2 pins to the blueberry. You could have gotten in on either one of those pins, and I don't know if that would have made, it did make 50 pips, just barely. But this is the Aussie CAD, and sometimes it's Looneyville too. So these last 4, I don't trade them at all. The dollar Swiss, the poor dollar Swiss. Look how long it's been up here in level 3 land. And I don't know how many times I've had to take off stop hunt high drop because it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days since it's been up here. And unless it breaks the top of this box, we're still expecting it to hit stops high and then drop. Now notice that this blue line here is the 200 EMA on the 4-hour chart. So if you went to the 4-hour chart, you would see that there are many hits to the 4-hour. And it looks like it's hitting it. Now let me blow it up a little bit so we can see it. It looks like just tonight it's thrown I don't know, this could even be some kind of a signal here, I guess. Maybe they induced the long since it broke over the 200. Didn't close below it on this candle. Maybe it will on this candle, and hopefully this poor thing will start falling again, although this is a pretty steep trend right here of the market maker. So if you were going to trade with the trend, you'd be expecting it to stop hunt low and rise. This one's just very, very confusing again, and it's the water and the mayonnaise have crossed 3 times in the last, this is just one day. One day it's crossed 3 times. So it's pretty hard to read that. So let's go back through the biases. They're all going to be hit the stops. Stop hunt low, rise to form an M of some sort, throw the appropriate pattern, and drop because they're all in level 3. Same thing here. We were in level 2. We've now looks like we've gotten into level 3. Might stay there for a while. You don't know. All the Swissies have been in level 3 for a long time. We're expecting them to hit the stop low, rise up, give some sort of a M, the appropriate pattern, and drop. Pound dollars in level 3, same thing. Might come back up here, make a double top M over 2 days and drop. That would be ideal. Pound yen's a little bit weird. It's not moving nearly as much as it should. It needs to get up into level 3 and then drop down. And again, I said I wasn't touching the dollar yen until we for sure are out of level 3, which has been for almost 2 weeks now. It's been there. Pound Swiss in level 3. We expect it to start dropping. The Aussie dollar is in level 3. We've had a previous head and shoulders. And here was the shoulder, so we've gone slightly above the shoulder, so we could go higher, I guess. But hit the stops high, form a nice M here, and drop. And the CAD's the only one that's the opposite. It goes the opposite of the Aussie, usually. We're in level, where are we in? Are we in level 1 up? Let's see, what is this? I've got level 1 and level 3. That can't be right. But we've had a peak formation low down here. We had 2 days of rise. This must be a mistake. This must mean 3 here. We're in level 3. So we're expecting this one to drop also. Is that correct, Car? What do you have the CAD at?
Dollar CAD, I think I'm
Let
in.
me see what you said
it's 1 drop.
yesterday.
It's 1 drop. The peak.
Oh, it's come down 1. Okay,
yeah,
it has come
one
down 1
drop.
off of level 3, so we're expecting it to drop more. Okay.
Hey, Granny. Hildy said, can you please go back to the euro and show her where level 3 started? According to Carr, she says we are still in level 2.
Well, I'm the last person you should be asking about boxes. Carr can probably do this 10 times better than I can. But here looks to be level 3. No, level 2, right, Carr?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is level 2. And then when I move it over, we're still in level 2. So if Carr was going to draw his box, he would start over here, and this would all be level 2. Now see, we didn't know. We thought perhaps we had a reset in this area here, but it's maintained that same box. So until it goes out of here, we're in level 2, which is why I said I thought it would stop hunt low, get us up into level 3, and then turn around and come back down. And that's, I think, what Carr said last night, but it didn't go, it never left level 2's box. Okay? Is that okay, Hildy?
Yeah, she's good with it.
Okay, all right. Okay, so are there any other questions? What did the pink vertical line, I just drew that line there to tell me that the, I believe it was the water and the mayonnaise crossed. I don't know where it is now. Yeah, the water and the mayonnaise crossed right there. That's all that meant. Okay, any more questions you guys see?
when you trade on the 15 minutes, do you still base it on the EMAs of the other time frame, or do you just purely base it on the EMAs on the 15-minute chart?
Only on the 15-minute chart. The only purpose of this is to show me as it's coming down. At this point, I'm thinking, okay, it might stop. It might slow down right in that area because that's some important EMA on the 50 on the 30-minute chart. And I blew right through that one, and so I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe it's going to stop here, and then it did hesitate. And if it hadn't done that, I would have been expecting, of course, the blueberry, and then there's another one even down below here. That's the 200 on the 60-minute.
And they want to know what that other line that divides your stop hunt box in two.
This is the special candle line, the 3:45 a.m. and this one is the 9:15, 9:30. Rather than put those shadow boxes, because I haven't figured out how to do that yet on Ray's new thing, and I'm sure he can show us that later. But instead of it being a whole box, I've just got it at that time, and I know this is 3:45. I know this is 9:45.
Hey, Granny, Ross is asking, so shouldn't EU be stop hunt low rise if we're in level 2 still? Or
well, but we
Yeah.
went out of level 2 today. See, here was the top of level 2, and we went above that, so it looks like we're in level 3 now. Oh, but that we didn't draw that way, did we?
no, I think, yeah.
Oh no, yeah,
think
we
you
are
were just-
still into. Yeah, I was thinking this was.
I think you
level
were telling
2, but I
Hildy
think
we're
it's
still
wrong.
in level 2.
Yeah, okay. So this is wrong then. We should be hitting stop hunt low rise up into level 3. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's some questions about trading off of EMAs and stuff like that. Listen, guys, you know what? The core method is M's and W's second leg off the high and off the low of the day. That's the core of Steve's method. Okay, that's the pattern. You trade off the pattern first. Once you get good at that, then you add other pieces to your trading arsenal. Okay, if you can't grab the high and low M and W second leg, forget about all this 13 and 5 and different moving averages and stuff like that, because you know what? Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work. Why? Because the probability is not very high. Okay, if you know the levels, you understand the pushes, yes, you can trade them. All right, but if you don't, you're going to get whacked. You're going to get hit all the time. All right, so look at this. Euro
And
dollar.
so almost all the pairs formed an M up here, and you would take it at the second leg.
Exactly.
This one was a little bit ugly. I took it right here. This one was a
Hey,
trap.
Carr.
Yes.
Somebody's asking, since you're a level expert, I figured you'd be the one to answer this. Is there any reason why so many pairs are at level 3 all at the same time here?
Yeah, they're just chopping it. They're just chopping and collecting contract. That's all they're doing. They're chopping, collecting contract, and they're just going to wait until they feel they have enough money to move the market. All right.
And the inmates are there too.
The what?
The inmates are out of the asylum and running the show. That was one of Steve's jokes in L.A., remember?
Yeah, and I also mentioned this week that Europe is very big on vacation in August, man.
August,
right? So
yes.
because of that, and London funnels a huge percentage of the forex market. That's the hub. Okay, London, and they run a lot of the currencies. So usually they are on vacation in August. Okay, you go down to Spain and Italy and the Riviera and stuff like that. Is crazy. Okay, and yes, I actually did take a trade. I took the EJ trade. Okay, I took the EJ trade short on the second leg. I'll talk about that once Granny is done. I'll show you guys the
Right
trade
here?
and why I took it. And no, I took it off the second leg. Yep, second leg. Railroad tracks. Yep. So okay, and yeah, I'll show my trade. I mean, if Kim wants to show her trade, she can also. I can switch it to her, and she can show his trades. And Ray, if you can hear me, if you want to say something about that box, the shadow box, the box, if you want to say something about it, you can. Okay, maybe he's not listening. He's putting his headset on. All right, cool. So why don't we just you're done, Granny? Do you want?
I'm done. You can have it back. Yeah.
Okay, let me just connect it to Kim. Kim can just show her her trade. Okay. All right, Kim.
David Long wants an indicator to show the country public holiday days.
You can just use the calendar at Forex Factory, and David, that will show you any bank holidays that are relevant. Okay, so show my screen. Everyone see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Okay, I took a reversal trade. You see this right here, this W? This is the only trade I took. I know it's in the middle of the range, but we had 1, 2, 3 to the low here. So when this was done and this candle was thrown right here, which closed inside this candle, you know me, I took this long here, and I ended up, I took it to the water, a little bit above the water, and it actually went 40 some pips, but I actually pulled out at 35. So that was all I did today. I didn't have much going on, so that was my trade. Now let me give it to you, Carr. Okay, there you go, Carr. Okay, Lou took that trade. Okay, Lou, very good. Carr, you're on mute.
I'm on mute. Okay, so I'm not going to try to move my mouse a lot. I'm just going to point at it. So notice the previous day's high. Okay, notice we just talked about the confirmed M's and W's only yesterday. All right, what did we say? Second leg, railroad tracks. You can take that trade. That's an M. All right, you can see it. Second leg, railroad track, diamond fires. Boom. What did it do today? It did the same thing. If you miss this move, because sometimes it'll just do this and it starts dropping. So I got in. My stop was where it's supposed to be. And then it formed the second leg and it fired the diamond. Your entry should be right there if you missed this move. Okay? I was watching it and I saw that rejection of price, big pin. It could be the first leg. It could be an Empire State. It could come right back down and close. Okay, and then you should have grabbed this trade. There was no reason why you missed this trade. It's a confirmed M, and I told you confirmed M only yesterday. They're about 90% accurate. If you only waited for M's and waited for this M and only traded the pattern off the high and off the low of the day, you will do well. Who cares if you missed a straightaway, man? Who cares? I don't care if I missed a straightaway. When I did my homework, okay, yes, did they hit the stop low earlier? Yes, it did. It hit it right here. You see that hammer? That was the stop on low. They did it early in the Asian session. They didn't do it in London. They took off, and then they dropped with a confirmed M pattern. 2 days in a row. Railroad track second leg, railroad track second leg. All right? Hopefully I'm not moving the mouse too much. As you can see, I'm excitable, so I talk kind of fast. It's a New York thing. All right, so...
Hey guys, that's the EJ that Carr's talking about.
This
Everybody's
is EJ.
asking.
Euro yen. Okay, Euro yen. All right, Diet Coke. All right, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, this is what you guys gotta wait for. Okay, if you're impatient like me, okay, I'm looking at the big M's that obviously you can see previous day's high. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing the candle. I'm seeing the pin. 5 seconds before the candle closes, I normally go into a trade, and then I wait and I see boom, and I see the diamond fire. I'm like, all right, man, I'm good. Then they throw the pin to the low. I'm like, all right, looks good. And then it comes back and closes. I'm like, oh, they're coming for the second leg. They're gonna form the second leg. Either that, or I'm gonna get stopped out. Okay, you leave the stop where it's supposed to be, and then once the second leg forms, you could add in more position, but ideally this is where you're supposed to go in. Sometimes they will drop from here, but if you saw this and if you missed the trade, shame on you. This is the trade. This is the confirmed M. Not only is the confirmed M with the second leg railroad tracks, it went above the first leg and came back and closed. And then it did a railroad track and even told you with a red diamond that the momentum have shifted. Look at TDI. It formed a nice M. It came right back, blood in the water. Oversold, I'm sorry, overbought, 68 or higher. M. It's over. That was the trade. All right? Don't worry about missing the straightaway, man. Doesn't matter. You missed the straightaway. It's not clean. There's no entry here. How are you going to enter the straight? It was stop on low rise. They did it over here. They hit the stop low right here, and then they started moving, and there was no entry. What about 2 hours rule on the trade? You know what? If you catch the confirmed M and W, they almost always pay out, man. They normally consolidate over here, collecting contracts. They do that on purpose, and then they'll drop it. They just hold it to test your patience. That's all they do. Remember Steve says, they set the trap, they pull away, and they hold for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever it is, inducing people to go long. They'll run up, they'll pull away. They'll run up, they'll pull away. This was the final straw when Granny saw that pin bar. That was the final straw. The minute that is done, the last push to the high, hit the stops with that pin bar, it's over. They shifted the zone and it's gone. Okay? Second leg closed above the first leg. The second leg did not close above the first leg. Here's my first leg. The tip is where you're looking at. This is the tip. That's where the high is. Price ran up there and it closed down here. This did not close above that. It's still a valid trade. This can close above that by the spread. It'll be like 2 or 3 pips above it. They'll do that on purpose just to induce long. And then as long as the next candle is a railroad track, you can still take the trade. Okay? Sometimes they'll even come up on the next candle and do a high test candle. You get even a better entry. All right? Second leg did not close above the previous high of day. That is correct. The second leg did not close above the previous high of day. Sometimes it'll, you mean previous high of day right here? Yeah, it doesn't really matter, man. This is an inducing candle. Induced. At one point, this was a green candle. Then they pulled it back and closed it. They hit the stop of those people who got it right, went short, induce long, and then pull away and close them and trap them. Okay? Yeah, normally I exit at 40 pips because I'm lazy, man. You know, like normally what they do, think about Steve said, right? If the ADR is 150 pips, approximately each day the level is going to be 50 pips each level, okay? So level 1 is 50 pips, level 2 is 50 pips, level 3 is 50 pips. It'll run the whole cycle is 150 pips, right, for the day. So if each range, like for example, euro dollars, EJ is roughly about 180 pips or something like that. I'm sure it's blown out now, but the normal one is about 180 pips. So it's roughly about 60 pips. It's going to run 60 pips. I'm not going to catch it at the high or off the low. So what I'm going to do is there's going to be something I'm going to miss off the high, something I'm going to miss off the low. So 40 pips will make sure I grab it. So when it does the pullback, I don't have to sit there for an hour and a half to 2 hours waiting for the next pushback down, right? So that's the little thing I do is I grab 40 pips. That's just my personal thing. I know Steve says 50 pips, but I just personally go for 40 pips because I don't want to sit there and wait for the pullback and then wait for the push and the pull and all that kind of stuff. So that's just a personal thing. I took the A out of the blue box. W formation. Look at it, please. Got 40 pips and not stay up late enough to find any other trades. Okay. I mean, if you EA Euro Oz, is that what you're talking about? Euro Oz. Euro Oz. You know what? I don't even have that chart up here. I have to mark all the chart Euro Oz. You know what? Let me just throw the chart in here. Let me just close this out. And that's you know, we were talking about the curriculum earlier, talking with Ray about it, and the thing about what I'm trying to do with that is getting you to see how to trade off the high and low and the patterns. Once you understand the fundamental basics of that, your accuracy is going to go higher. You're not going to trade in the middle of the range. You're going to wait for the high or the low, and you're going to trade a second leg M, and you're going to take that. You're not going to trade off a pin bar. Okay, yes, this one is that, looks like that, but if you know the cycle, you're going to be like, I'm going to trade off the high and I'm going to go long off the low. If I see a W pattern, second leg railroad tracks off the low, I'm going to look for 3 pushes before I go short. I'm not going to go short right over here. That's the second push, like Kim was mentioning, right? Here the confirmed W, right? Second leg railroad tracks. It comes up here. This is push 1. Hit the stop, hit the stop. This is push 2, and this is push 3 on this cycle. Okay, I know I'm moving my mouse a little too much, but that's on the cycle. So this is not clear. I didn't see it. I'm not going to make it up, and I'm not going to take it. If I don't see it crystal clear, second leg railroad tracks, it's a pass for me. All right. Sometimes I see straightaways, sometimes I don't. Straightaways with a beautiful pin bar, I'll take them. If I don't see it, I don't. Okay. I don't have, like I said, I don't have Euro Oz, man. So let me just quickly throw Euro Oz in. Yikes, I should have set that as the default. I'll show you guys how to do this as defaults and stuff. So when you throw the chart in, it's already set up. It's not, you have to click buttons and start making stuff up and have all these diamonds all over the place, and it looks like a mess, right? Okay, so on the 15 minutes, you took a short here, M. Yeah, that could be. $27 pips. Oh, that's nice. Second leg M. I personally don't like that as much. I like it off the high and off the low, man. That's how I prefer trading. But I'm not saying that's the bad trade. I'm just saying my preference is off the high and off the low. That's what my preference is. Okay. Can I trade in the middle like you, Jeff? I know Jeff runs the Phoenix group out in Phoenix, Arizona, and you know, he's a more experienced trader, so he can trade in the middle of the range. And he's been with Steve for a while now, so he can understand what he's looking for and how he trades off the range. So that's pretty cool. All right. For those people who are still new and still struggling and still not seeing it, trade off the high and off the low. At some point, you're going to add stuff to it. Okay. This is the W pattern, but this is in the middle of the range, man. It's tough to see it, but at some point, you're going to be able to see it. Okay. Okay. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of people sending stuff in right now. You're gonna clear all those diamonds everywhere. Yeah, I know. It's really easy, man. I just changed the time very quickly, and then I bring it back in, and the diamonds are fine. I apologize. It's just a mess because I just threw it in and it's just trying to grab as much data as possible. All right, looks like an Xmas tree. Yeah, there is a Phoenix group, and Jeff runs it. I'm sure if you come to the class, or you can send Jeff an email through the forum. He traded off the bottom long. Okay, so he took the long off the bottom. That's fantastic. There you go. He took this trade off the bottom. Okay, Jeff took this trade, and he saw the pins to the low. All right. I don't know if this is going to help. Nope, not much, but for those people who can see it, you can trade it. I know it's going nuts right now, so I'm just going to stop moving my mouse. Trade middle of the range, do you mean trading at level 2? It could be push 2. Yes, trading in the middle of the range. As long as you're not trading off the high and a low of the day, you're trading in the middle of the range. Okay? Jeff Tim, Jefftim. How do you separate the diamonds from the candle? I don't know, man. I'm not a coder. That's Ray's job. Okay. Do you guys ever use the scripts, man? We love using the scripts. That's all we do. At some point, we can start showing you something about how to adjust the scripts so that you can make the scripts the way you want it, and you can even have the script fire without, you know, like the script right now. If you throw into the chart, it'll say you have to click OK to execute the trade. You can fire the script without having to do that. You can just throw the script in the chart, it'll fire right away. Okay. So, Ray, do you want to say something, man?
Can you hear me?
All right, man. Go ahead.
All right. No, that's fine. I was just going to say that I don't know how those boxes or what version of the work time Granny has, but it should redraw those boxes for the last third of that box if the range is now less than 50% of the box. And for some of the ones that's drawn on hers, mine doesn't line up the same way. So, and I'm running with the latest and greatest. So, I don't know. That's the only thing on that I can probably show whenever I do the next presentation. I'll show people
Ray,
what it looks like.
will you be posting the latest and greatest in the forum?
This latest and greatest is in the forum now. I had
Under what? May 16th?
If you go and look in the software forum, then in current indicators, then click on SM work time. There'll be a post. I think it's the most recent post for me that has an attachment will be the latest and greatest.
Okay.
And I don't know, there'll be another version that I'm working out other few things on. But you know, I just thought of something that was interesting, and I guess we'll look at it later on the indicators. For the ones that automatically adjust for GMT. If the boxes shift across the date marker, any indicator that calculates that data probably needs to be shifted too. Because the high or the low could be different depending on where that is too. If the box shifts across the date, like some people who don't have that problem, their GMT 2 or better don't have that problem. Interbank would probably have that problem, but I'm looking into it anyway. But nothing else special about those boxes other than that, unless you have questions about them. When will the trade station indicators be ready? Since I don't code in TradeStation, I have no idea. I saw a posting out there from Canaan on TradeStation indicators, but that means someone else is coding them because I have never coded for TradeStation. It's a different language.
All right, I think that's it, man. All right, guys. Well, I think we're done for tonight. All right. All right, so you guys know what you guys got to do tonight. Just be patient, okay? For those people who are still having some challenges, next week will really help, okay? The curriculum is going to help you create a structure in your learning process, and we're going to be there to help with that, okay? There's going to be homework involved, so if you expect to, put some time in, if you're serious about making this something worthwhile, okay? And we will be here to help you. All right, guys, so have a good night, okay? And we will catch you guys tomorrow. Thank you.
Good night.
Thanks.